Anya lived in a small village. It was a quaint place, nestled in the heart of Russia, where the winters were long and cold, and the snow blanketed everything in sight. The village was a picturesque scene, with snow-covered rooftops and smoke curling from chimneys. It was a place where time seemed to stand still. The village was surrounded by a vast forest, its trees standing tall and silent under the weight of the snow. Anya often found herself gazing at the forest, dreaming of adventure. She longed to see the world beyond the snowy fields, to explore the unknown and discover what lay beyond the horizon.
Every day, Anya helped her family with the daily chores. She carried firewood through the snow, her breath visible in the cold air. She chopped wood and fetched water from the well, her hands red and cold from the icy water. She helped her mother bake bread in their cozy kitchen, the warmth of the oven a welcome contrast to the cold outside. But in her heart, she yearned for more. She dreamed of far-off places and grand adventures, of a life beyond the village. One day, Anya decided to follow her dreams. She wandered into the forest, her heart pounding with excitement. The snow crunched under her boots as she walked, each step taking her further from the village and closer to the unknown. She felt a thrill of excitement, a sense of freedom she had never known before. She was exploring the unknown, and for the first time, she felt truly alive.
Deep in the forest, Anya found something strange. She had been wandering for hours, the dense canopy above her filtering the sunlight into a soft green glow. The forest was eerily quiet, save for the occasional rustle of leaves underfoot. Anya's heart raced as she pushed through the underbrush, her curiosity piqued by a glimmer she had seen in the distance. It was a clearing bathed in sunlight. The sudden brightness was almost blinding after the dim forest. Anya shielded her eyes, taking in the serene beauty of the place. The air was warm and filled with the scent of wildflowers, a stark contrast to the cool, damp forest she had just emerged from. In the center lay a broken mirror. It seemed out of place, an oddity in the midst of nature. The mirror's frame was ornate, covered in intricate designs that hinted at its age. Anya wondered how it had ended up here, in this secluded spot. The mirror was shattered into many pieces. Each fragment reflected the sunlight in a dazzling display, creating a mosaic of light on the forest floor. Anya knelt down, her fingers hovering over the shards, afraid to touch them but unable to look away. Each piece shimmered with a strange light. It was as if the mirror held some kind of magic, its broken pieces still alive with energy. Anya felt a strange pull, an urge to piece the mirror back together, to uncover its secrets.
Anya cautiously approached the mirror, her heart pounded in her chest, a mix of fear and excitement coursing through her veins. She had never seen anything like this before, and the possibilities it presented were both thrilling and terrifying. As she looked at her reflection, she gasped. The face staring back at her was not just her own, but many faces, each one slightly different. It was as if the mirror was showing her all the different paths her life could have taken. She saw not one but many different versions of herself. Each reflection was a glimpse into a different life, a different choice. Anya felt a sense of wonder and confusion, her mind racing to understand what she was seeing. There was Anya as a baker, her face dusted with flour. She looked happy, content, her hands skillfully kneading dough. It was a life she had never considered, but one that seemed fulfilling in its simplicity. There was Anya as a musician, her fingers dancing on a violin. The music was beautiful, haunting, and Anya could almost hear the notes in her mind. It was a dream she had once had, long forgotten but now vividly brought to life. Anya was confused but also curious. The mirror was showing her possibilities she had never imagined, lives she had never lived. She wondered what it all meant, and why the mirror had chosen to show her these visions. She reached out to touch the mirror, her fingers trembled as they neared the surface, the air around her crackling with energy. Anya took a deep breath, ready to uncover the mysteries that lay within the broken mirror. As soon as Anya's fingers touched the mirror, the forest around her swirled. The trees seemed to bend and twist, their leaves rustling with an eerie whisper. The ground beneath her feet felt like it was shifting, almost as if the forest itself was alive and responding to her touch. The air crackled with energy. It was as if the very atmosphere was charged with electricity, making the hairs on the back of her neck stand up. She could feel the power emanating from the mirror, a force that was both mesmerizing and terrifying. When everything settled, Anya found herself face to face with an old woman. The sudden stillness was almost deafening after the chaos, and Anya's heart raced as she took in the sight before her. The woman had a long nose and piercing eyes. Her gaze seemed to look right through Anya, as if she could see into her very soul. There was an intensity in those eyes that spoke of ancient wisdom and untold stories. She leaned on a gnarled walking stick. The stick looked as old as the woman herself, twisted and worn, yet it seemed to pulse with a life of its own. It was clear that this was no ordinary walking stick, but a tool of great power. This was Baba Yaga, a powerful witch who lived in the forest. Legends spoke of her abilities, her knowledge of the arcane, and her connection to the very essence of the woods. She was a figure of both fear and respect. Baba Yaga was known for her wisdom and her magic. She was a keeper of secrets, a guardian of ancient knowledge. Many sought her out, but few were granted an audience. Anya felt a mix of awe and trepidation standing before her.
"Welcome, Anya," Baba Yaga said, her voice raspy. It was a voice that carried the weight of centuries, filled with both kindness and a hint of menace. Anya shivered slightly, unsure of what to expect. This mirror is a powerful tool. Baba Yaga's eyes never left Anya's as she spoke, and Anya could feel the truth of her words. The mirror seemed to hum with energy, its surface shimmering with possibilities. It shows you the many paths your life could take. Each reflection in the mirror was different, showing Anya various versions of herself, each on a different journey. It was both fascinating and overwhelming.
Anya listened, her heart pounding. The weight of the moment pressed down on her, and she knew that whatever happened next would change her life forever. She had so many questions. What did the different paths mean? How was she to choose? And most importantly, why had Baba Yaga chosen to show her this? The answers, she hoped, would come soon.
Each piece of the mirror shows a different future, Anya.
I see myself as a brave explorer sailing across the ocean.
And here, as a talented artist, my paintings admired by all.
Oh, and there as a loving mother surrounded by children.
The possibilities seemed endless, and Anya was overwhelmed. She didn't know which path to choose. Each life held its own appeal.
Every choice you make shapes your destiny, but the choice, Anya, is always yours.
Looking at all these reflections, I realize each one is a part of me. I can be brave, talented, and loving. I don't have to choose just one path, I can create my own.
With newfound courage, Anya thanked Baba Yaga. She turned and walked back into the forest, the image of the shattered mirror imprinted in her mind. She knew that her life was a journey, and she was excited to see where it would lead.